Okay, this particular question on quadratic curve, in part 1, you are expected to find the coordinates of the turning point. In Sec 3, you will have learned completing the square, so that will be the method we go about doing so. In Sec 4, under differentiation, you will have learned another method. That could be another approach that you can challenge yourself once you have gone through Sec 4. But for now, we will use completing the square method. Remember, it's very important for us to apply completing the square. The coefficient of x squared must be 1. Since it's 3, we have to factorize 3 throughout. Completing the square, half dx and put in bracket. Notice the coefficient of x is -4, so half of -4 is -2. Subtract the square of that number there. So now we subtract the square of the number that I've just written. Please remember to still continue to write your constant and simplify the square bracket. Then we multiply by 3 throughout again. We have completed the square. Using our approach of x, y, s, t, we will be able to write out the coordinates of the turning point. Make the bracket term equal 0. This means that x is equal to 2, and what is left behind is -8. So this is the turning point for part 1. Apology, there's no negative sign for 8. So this is our turning point. Next, in part 2, there are two methods that I can think of to explain why the curve does not intersect the x-axis. So I go about method 1 first. As you can tell, the quadratic curve given to us is a U-shaped curve. Alright, and this means that we have a minimum point of 2, 8. Since the minimum point is 2, 8 for y, this means that it will never cut the x-axis. As the lowest it can go is y is equal to 8. Or you can write the minimum value of y is 8. Either way is fine. This means that there is no intersection with the x-axis. Hence, no intersection with the x-axis. So either of the above statement is fine. Okay, I'm going to try method 2, which is typically when you talk about intersection with the x-axis, this means that the x-axis is y equal to 0. Let me solve for the curve and y is equal to 0. So I will solve for this particular quadratic equation. Using from what we did in part 1, you realize that we cannot square root a negative value, hence no solution. Since there's no solution, this means that there is no x-intercept. Hence, the curve doesn't intersect x-axis. So part 2 has a few ways of doing the explanation. Alright, part 3 is pretty straightforward. You will have learned it in E-Math as well. So we're going to use the XYST method to do our sketching. So try inserting the XYST yourself before you do your sketch. Okay, we have gotten most of the information from our part 1 or 2. So now I'm going to do my sketch. Okay, it will be good to take note to indicate the coordinates of your turning point. In this case, it's a minimum point, and label whatever intercept there is on the curve. And there you have it. My sketch is done.